Okay, good afternoon to the Finance Committee on the 5th of July. We'll commence the meeting at 2:30. Do we have any committee or public comments? Seeing none, we'll go to item number 3, fraud risk discussion.
Okay. I'm actually Ty today.
Hi, Ty.
Hi. So, as you know, this is on the agenda at every Finance Committee meeting, but there's nothing to report this month.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed it.
Okay, item number 4, financial statements from June 30th.
Okay, that's the first, should be the first handout in your packet. You can see revenues, budget was $17 million roughly, actual $16,377,000 roughly. The variances, under total water service revenue, we had a variance of $151,000 roughly. That's mostly due to delinquencies and late fees, an increase. Next item, the non-operating income, there's a variance of almost $81,000. That's due to the sale of Well 19, the property over by McDonald's. Just point out, even though the variance is roughly $640,000, there's still some accruals that need to be booked. We're at the end of the fiscal year, so final numbers won't be published for at least a month. Under expenses, budget 17 million, roughly 700,000, and actual about 17 million. So variance of $664,000. We've seen a reduction in consumption.
Sorry.
We've seen a reduction in consumption. That's reflected as well in the revenues, where you see that our actual GA fees are $425,000, almost less than budget. And that trend has been every month so far this year, that our actual consumption has been below what we budgeted, which was last year. The best numbers we had were last year's numbers, but every month so far this year has been below those numbers. So overall, we've got revenues exceeded $24,500 better than budget. If we look at capital expenditures, of the $3.7 million, roughly 2.1 is financed by the COP. And any questions on that? I think I covered the major variances.
Yeah, just the consumption reduction. Is that shown in your conservation charts as well?
Yes.
So we'll see that
Yes.
coming up. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we move on. We've got the graphs that show you the comparison month by month, revenues versus expenses for the last fiscal year is the first one, and comparing the June over the last several years, June revenues versus expenses. And you've seen these before, so.
And you said there'll be a final tally for the fiscal year that will.
Yes, after the accruals are all taken into consideration. So our fiscal year ended June 30th, so
Okay.
got to wrap up the fiscal year.
Very good.
Next. Ready to move on, or?
Ready to move on.
Okay, rate study.
Rate study.
Yeah, I don't know, we put this on the agenda. I don't know if you want to have a specific discussion on it now. I know it's going to be on the agenda for the board workshop on the 25th.
I'd prefer to delay till then. I think it's going to deserve a fair amount of time, and I'm not too sure we want it. It would be nice if we had some other
Yeah.
directors involved as well.
Yeah, one comment I'll make, I know there was a suggestion to form an ad hoc committee to do the rate study. I just want to point out that one of the items that the Finance Committee is responsible for are rate studies. So it's always been practiced in the past that the Financial Committee would work with staff on the rate study. Of course, the board is involved at the board level board meeting, so.
Right.
Again, it's up to the board what they want to do, but we've never formed an ad hoc committee per se to do a rate study.
Okay. So is it I mean, it was reasonable for us to put that off until the workshop.
I think so,
That's
yeah,
normal-
yeah.
Normal practice.
Yeah, because I think it needs to be a board discussion more than the finance committee at this
Right.
point. And then once that discussion takes place, then the finance committee would have direction on how to work with staff on, and the consultant on putting together the rate analysis.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
especially since we had that additional insight into what the costs of amortizing the investments
Yeah.
over the next 5 years.
You gonna say
is gonna
something?
do the
I was gonna
rates.
say, I think it's a good idea to actually have the CFO here for that conversation as well. Say,
I take that personal. No, I totally agree.
Get that done?
I totally agree. I'm the alternate.
You're the Stuckey.
Yeah,
Not yet. I'd keep that as long as I could. I'm about there too, so.
okay. I think it's a good decision to put that off and just have
Okay.
a discussion at the board workshop.
We'll make sure it's on the workshop agenda.
Right.
You carry the
And it
list?
is already.
It is on there, okay,
Yes.
good. Okay, item number 6, accounts payable.
Okay, we have the two to go through. One was for, I think it was the 10th of June, I believe, and the other was the 20th, something like that. Maybe it was earlier. But anyway, the first one in your sheet is, let's go through that. Groundwater Authority, you can see the fees we paid, $417,000, $418,000. I don't think there's anything else on there worth really mentioning, but as we go through, well, it was June 6th, I'm sorry. So Advanced Technology Systems, that's ATSI, $16,000. Other courses for SCADA. Let's see, next one, Core and Main, that's about $9,100. I believe they usually, just brass fittings, angle stops, that sort of thing. That's what that involves.
We have a pretty good company to deal with, Jason.
yes, they're good
Pardon me?
company. I can talk to you a little bit more after, but yeah.
Of course, Krieger and Stewart for 54,000 plus. Mercury, Hartsock, Worth, and St. Lawrence, about $50,000. And the other legal component is Murphy and Everett's, $46,000. Those are the big ones. What else we have here? Of course, Springbrook.
Are we any closer in solving any of this stuff with the lawyers and McMurtry and the GA, or are we still a long ways out, or?
We're not close, put it that
How
way.
do you define long ways?
Like, can we final it next month?
Yeah, we're a long ways out.
We're all here, yeah.
Cause you gotta, even the money that we pay the GA, you still gotta add the 150,000 on there for
Well,
our personal
the
expenses.
adjudication, the next hearing is December 2nd. There's going to be, I'm sure, a lot more legal involved up until December and after that. So no, it's nowhere near being done unless the miracle happens and everybody comes
It
to
isn't.
table.
Are they still receiving, is Doug's group still receiving a lot of phone calls and questions and?
Yeah, it's come down quite a bit because they do have a voicemail that refers people to the website, but there's still a number that they have to answer, emails and such. And I know they did send out another batch of the paperwork to customers and well owners. A gentleman came in this morning, Jason came and got me. He's both a customer of the district as well as a well owner. And the paperwork for him was just overwhelming. He just brought the whole thing in, so I don't understand this, what's this all about? So I explained it to him. He went in and signed it, and he's gonna have his daughter scan it and send it on an email. So once I explained it, he understood it, but I'm sure it's confusing to many people. He said he actually gotten it before, it was sent to him, and he talked to April at GA, and then he put it aside and just didn't follow up on it. So he got sent us another one because he never responded. But so people are still receiving. It was dated June 16th, so apparently another batch went out then.
Yeah, there's been a few hiccups. I know my sister
Yeah.
received a recent letter, and she had already submitted her paperwork, and it was filed, and then she got another letter, and so she was really confused and asked me about it, and I said, I think it's just a process error. Don't worry about it, but.
Yeah, it hasn't gone as smooth as we would have hoped it would go.
But at least those incidences are starting to
Fade out a
slow
little
down and
bit.
fade out a bit, yeah.
A couple of things on that would be Univar, Corsair Chemicals, 8,369, and then Santa Fe Windworks, that's pipe fittings and those kinds of things, just about $6,000.
Okay.
And then on the next one, which was June 20th, I believe it was, on the first sheet, the only one that's kind of different is Leaf for about $2,000, and that's the backup server for Unitrends. And then on the accounts payable, you got $53,000 for Banner Bank, and that's retention for the tank and booster projects, retention for the tank projects. So that's Banner Bank. What else? Hack for 28,000, it's chemicals.
No, that's the iron analyzer.
It's what?
Iron analyzer.
Oh, that's the analyzer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I stand corrected. Herc Rentals, dump truck rental. What else? RSA, well, the big one, $1 million, of course, that's our contractor doing the tanks and the booster projects.
Okay.
And
Jason's boots, $130.
Jason
Yeah.
Boots.
They were a little less than that $1 million check.
Well, I thought they were going to be 125, so I was a little surprised at that.
And the one that caught my eye that I had to look at was fourth one from the bottom, TC's Bees, $400. And I guess that was for meter boxes at the arsenic plant. They had bees in them?
It was in the wall, actually.
Okay,
So they do a bee recovery.
right.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah, I
yeah,
met
they don't,
that guy.
they don't kill them, they,
Do they pay you for the bees, or do they take them for free?
We pay that what, and he does it for free. What that covers is the boxes to collect them.
Oh, okay.
So he doesn't actually charge anything to get the bees.
Come on now.
so any other questions on either of those?
No, just in general, though, I'm sure Ty spends a fair amount of his time going through these invoices with a fine tooth comb when they come in. So when I see these numbers, it's like, you know,
Ty and Diana both, yes. Diana catches,
Take a hint.
yeah, Diana's been very good at catching things in the past.
What are we buying for 28,000 from Hatch? Did they do other, is it just strictly
The
chemicals?
iron analyzer at the arsenic plant.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes.
Okay, never mind, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll pay attention again.
Yeah, I thought it was chemicals, but yeah, it's the instrumentation.
okay.
Any questions on any of that?
Nope, it looks good to me.
I don't like it, but it doesn't matter.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Okay, item number 7,
You
future.
guys
have a
you have to
recommendation?
do a recommendation. Yeah.
Yeah. Recommend approval?
Oh, yes, I certainly
Sorry.
would recommend approval.
I recommend approval also.
Okay.
And future agenda items, I guess we're going to move that risk study. It's on the workshop agenda, and I guess we need to think about if there's going to be any other topics, financial topics. that
Yeah,
you-
any other, just a reminder, any other topics that you'd like to see on the agenda for the board workshop need to be to Lauren and I and David by the 12th, I think she asked for it, next
12th of July.
Tuesday.
Okay,
As of this time, we just have the rate study, and then, of course, we go over progress to date on the district goals. So those are the only two things on the agenda right now.
okay. Any other
You
topics?
anticipate a lot of people here for the rate study, or? As far as the
Well,
public comments?
when that time comes and it's presented, I would think, I don't know, the
I'm
usual
trying to remember from the
usual
past.
cast of characters would probably be here.
I know who those are.
Okay, then, seeing no other comments or future items for the, I will recommend that we go to adjournment at 2:45.
Okay, we're gonna have a closed session now?